In this video, I want to address the question, should you spend the money on a gimbal? Is it worth it? What is the footage like, and so on? Now, I've got the Zhiyun crane. Hopefully I pronounced that right, probably not. And I'll be showing you some side-by-side comparison shots. This is with the Joby. Handheld, tripod, inexpensive. You can take it with you anywhere. It folds up nicely. Really how you should probably get started if you're into the whole YouTube vlogging video thing. And we're walking with the Joby. Notice how smooth or not smooth the footage is. Let me know, what do you think? And now let's throw the Canon M50 on the gimbal and test it out. Okay, now the camera's on the gimbal is turned on, 3 clicks. And I go into selfie mode. This is really verification that just with a little bit of time and learning how to maneuver glasses with your mouth, you're gonna be able to get much better. Man, this is awesome. Actually, this gets me really, oh man, it's kind of raining now. So this is tricky. I'm actually gonna walk a little bit, but it's starting to rain and sleet. But notice how smooth the footage is. I'll get just a little bit further away. Again, we're filming on a Canon M50. We're in Colorado Springs. We'll swing around and see how the camera does. So this is just how smooth the footage you can get when you start to practice with the gimbal. We better get inside. Can you notice the difference? Let me know, leave a comment below. And what you're about to watch now is me just hours after balancing the gimbal for the first time. Now, one of the things I've discovered is the crane will move with you, but it's a bit slower. But the end result, the footage that is taken is actually pretty darn good. Now, right now, I'm walking on a really rocky path. There's a poodle in the dog run right there. There's rocks all over the place, and I bet the footage is pretty darn good, all things considering. Now we need to come and turn off the water to the hot tub. So we'll do that. Oh, Jesus. So it absolutely does take some getting used to. So right now I'm in mode 1, and I'll tap the mode button 3 times, and now I'm in selfie mode, so that's good. And again, it does take some time. I can see that it keeps wanting to adjust, and it's probably the balancing. Let's go down to the mine. I kind of dig the mine. And I think if we go about here, that'll be good exposure. So what do you think? How is the footage? Does it look pretty smooth? What do you think? Are you up for the task of the extra weight and the extra expense and the time to balance and all the things? Woo! That was pretty steep. Looks pretty good though, right? And we are on our way to the mine. This is great. I remember the first vlog I did, I came down here and people dug it. And now I've got an ND filter and I've got the gimbal. And I gotta tell you, I can really feel the weight difference. Here's the end of the property line. There's my house. Right there. Let's do this. I'm going to turning off the gimbal, turning the gimbal back on, and pop. There we go. And now we'll do kind of a slow pan of Pikes Peak. And I'll tap 3 times the mode button for selfie, and we are back in selfie mode. Woo! So one of the things I've noticed is sometimes when I hit the mode button, it doesn't actually change for me. So I was in mode 1 and I wanted selfie mode and it didn't happen. Now the workaround was to power on and off. And again, I'm just a few hours into this gimbal. So there's a lot of learning going on. And right now, I'm just trying not to fall coming down this dry creek bed as we descend down into the mine where they dig. You dig? Whew. So it's supposed to get really windy here tonight. I'm just not sure about this gimbal thing. I might be sending this back. One of the things that I found in the first few hours was it felt so fussy. You know, one of the things about photography is the faster you get the shot, the better, right? And the same thing with video, vlogging, whatever. Now, of course, there is the whole practice and learning thing. And again, I'm just several hours in. Okay, let's keep going. To the mine. And selfie mode. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Now again, clearly my technique isn't the greatest. But even that said, I bet the footage isn't too bad. Much better anyway than just having a gorilla pod. Wow, it is absolutely beautiful here today. And it's so weird, it feels like, come on, aim at me. I'm such a newbie though. Okay, so there you have it. And like right now, I feel like the footage is really good. And if I do some slow walking, which is really hard, I'm all over these rocks in a rock bed on the side of a mountain. It's still pretty darn good. Still trying to make up my mind. Tricky. Let's head back up. That's quite a hill. So this is your test footage when Brian's out of breath. Back on a smooth road, and I'm working really hard to be smooth. One of the things I've learned, it's not just the gimbal, it's your technique. And clearly mine has some work to do. So when it comes to our question, is a gimbal worth it? It really depends on you and where you're at with your YouTube video making. For me personally, before I spent a lot of money on something like a gimbal, I'd want to make sure that all the big areas, the important areas, things like lighting, audio, what I'm editing my videos on, I've got those all taken care of. And for me, well, as you can see, I've already taken care of that. I've got lighting, I've got a nice Mac, I've got Final Cut Pro, I've got some nice cameras, etc. So yeah, for me, I think the gimbal makes a lot of sense, and I'm excited to see what I can achieve by using this new tool. Now, if you're just getting started and you haven't made a lot of videos, well then I wouldn't worry about something like a gimbal. Just get started with the basics I just mentioned.